North Church. We have Reverend Stephen Ayers.
Thank you, Brett, and thank you, Council, for allowing me to come in. What I'd like to do tonight is update you on a number of capital improvements that are coming along, and for those of you who use the passageway through Old North, there will be occasional disruption beyond the normal disruption of all the tour buses and the groups that are coming through in the next month. We are at some point this fall going to be repainting all the windows on the church. We have a grant from the National Park Service to do that. We'll probably be removing the windows kind of 2 by 2, taking them off to the workshop of our window expert, but there will be some disruption as those are removed and replaced, and that will go into the winter. In early November, we're going to be replacing the roof on our gift shop, and again, for a day, that's probably going to, as we strip all the old shingles off, that's going to disrupt the passageway through the campus. I appeared before you, I think, last spring or last winter to ask for your support for a grant that we filed with for Community Preservation Act support for the CRIP project. Thank you for giving us your support. I'm sorry and then sort of not sorry to say that we were turned down for that, and I'll explain that in a minute. But while the CPA committee very much supported the project, there were several applications for CPA funding in the Old North all at once, and they could only bring so much money to any given neighborhood. And the new affordable housing was obviously an important project, as was redoing the park down by the water and building a berm there. So we were turned down, and we were told to come back this fall. Now the flip side, the good news of that is about a month ago I got a call from the Park Service, National Park Service, saying maybe we can find you some more money. So they think they found money to finish the CRIP project. We're hoping that will get underway after Christmas. And that's about it's a little over $1 million project to restore the crypts beneath the church and also to make them accessible. So there'll be a ramp going from the lower courtyard into the crypt so that any visitor who would like to take a tour down there will be able to do that. Because we don't anticipate now applying for a CPA for that project, we have another major project we're working on, and that's what I'm before you tonight to talk about. You've also seen this project before. A couple of years ago, we came before you to ask for support for I think we've been before you twice for Brown Fund grants, one for a design grant, which we did receive a few years ago, and then for a construction grant, which is now pending, and we'll hear about this fall. Let me just quickly walk you through what we're intending to do. If you've been on our campus, and I hope you all come on, it's free for anybody who's a resident of the city of Boston. Just tell them that you're a resident here, and they'll usher you right in. North side of the campus has some courtyards and gardens. It's one of the best open spaces in the neighborhood. It's quiet, secluded. We do have our visitors go through there, but it's also used by some neighborhood groups, so we hope it'll be used by more. The Elliott School uses it on occasion. North Bennett Street School, when they do their graduation, they use it. The Girl Scouts are about to start using the campus and using that space as well. So we're really delighted to offer that space, knowing how rare public space is in the neighborhood, and it's a lovely space because it's protected. You can't get in and out, particularly if you're doing family-oriented programs. We had our parish picnic there last Sunday. We've got a nice gas grill. You can cook, people can run around, and there's only one way in and out. So if you're watching after little ones, it's pretty easy to make sure that they don't wander off. So I just want to extend that invitation. Old North is part of the community. We really want folks in the community to be able to use it. So what you've seen before, and we're showing you again, is the remodeling of that. We want to open up the courtyard to make it more usable. We also want to turn it into an outdoor classroom space where we can do more in-depth teaching about the poem Paul Revere's Ride in its own 19th century context. We held a number of neighborhood meetings, including with teachers from the Elliott School, with our immediate butters, to design this project. We're very excited about it. Other improvements that go along with this are replacing all the pavers so that we will have ADA up to code pavers in there. Right now it undulates a lot and there are a lot of tripping hazards. So we want to do all that. Again, this project's going to be over $1 million, so we've raised about half of the funds we need, and we're looking to ask the Community Preservation Act to come up with $500,000 or $600,000 to really complete the funding on this project. So I'm here to ask for your support for that. What I handed out to you, it just has some pictures, schematic design of the whole space. On the third page, shows the design of the fountain, which is one of the coolest features. It's a kind of an oversized guitar pick. It's a water table, and it's going to be set in the courtyard in such a place that while you're reading the poem that's etched on the side of the fountain, you'll be able to see the reflection of the church and the steeple in the surface of the fountain at the same time. So we're very excited about that design. Fourth page shows a movable planter that we're going to have more interpretive plaques on that connect Longfellow as a poet and as a pro-unionist to some of the abolitionists that we work with, including Frederick Douglass and Charles Sumner. And on the last page, finally, we've commissioned a piece of public art, which is going to be a three-dimensional sculpture at the entryway to it that kind of does in sculpture what Grant Wood did in his famous painting of Paul Revere riding by a church. And we're going to pair that with a lesser-known quote from the poem, "In the hour of darkness and peril and need," to try to highlight the fact that Longfellow was writing this in 1860. So we think it's a great educational program. We're working with the Elliott School on how we integrate this into their curricula, both in terms of what we're teaching about the poem, but also there's gardening to be done there. We think it's going to be a really exciting project. It's a great piece of open space, and we want to make it more usable for the neighborhood and for our own mission to be able to teach civics to everybody who comes by from around the world. Any questions?
So I will open it up to the audience. Any questions? Well, I'll open it up to the council first. I apologize. Council, have any questions?
I know you're concerned about a butter, so the primary butter actually sits on our board, so she's fully aware of what we're doing.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So then I'll ask the council to cast their votes and pass their votes down to John. Yeah.
Thank you.